Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And yes, we're going to talk about this. And don't you worry, because it's the biggest news for XRP holders, not just today, but in a while. And it's news like this that moves the needle on price. Why? Because supply, demand, and Fomo. But let me give you a little bit of a backstory, okay? Just 24 hours ago, yes, yesterday, some thought that I was raining on the parade with the announcement of the CME in the US starting on May 19th. They have announced that they're starting futures on XRP, but what most people who talked about this news on X left out was this was not handling, settling, or delivering XRP, the digital asset, only a financial instrument to bet on price. We've had futures that bet on the price of XRP since 2021. People were maybe quite impressed because it was coming out of the CME group. Okay, all right, I'll give a nod for that. But as I said in my post, I'm not interested in decorations. I find it amazing that if you don't just jump into the hype pool every time, people think you are negative. That is not the case. You should know by now that I'm not that interested in anything that doesn't involve the utility of the digital asset. And in addition, I totally agree with Santiago here, where he states that the SEC doesn't need to have futures to establish reference rates for pricing. If XRP was on a proper global decentralized and competitive oracle, like that found in the Flare time series oracle FTSO on Flare Networks, a statement of there's no second best. But the pricing on here is being tracked on a centralized oracle. I'm sorry, but if you paid attention to the last big hack we had, it was because somebody went in and manipulated the price on a centralized price oracle. Yes, I admit I wasn't that excited with yesterday's news. And I don't think people should say that I'm a hater because utility matters. As Craig DeWitt says, he's a former Ripple employee. This is from 2021 when we were really focused on using the digital asset for on-demand liquidity. And it really rings true today. Nothing has changed. Utility matters. That CME product settles everything in USD. It does nothing for the XRP price, no impact on supply, demand, or FOMO for the asset. But now we're talking, Mikkel. Just a few hours ago, the world's first spot XRP ETF is coming from Brazil. This is something you can get jazzed about. The XRP H11 will invest in at least 95% of the equity in the digital asset XRP through direct and indirect investments in that crypto asset. So please forget about hyping centralized price oracles to me. And while we're at it, please allow me to add a little bit more clarity with a Circle statement where they said that no cross-border real payment system existed yet. And in their test mode, they have moved USD to the Brazilian real in just 72 seconds, end to end. Let that sink in, as the VP of product at Circle said. And as you see above, somebody is asking for an apology. Too many people conflate the XRPLedger and the Ripple payment system called RippleNet or Ripple Payments by the company Ripple. Single XRP and XRPL transactions take 3 to 5 seconds. Ripple Payments does the whole process of on-ramping when they move that XRP or RLUSD, off-ramping plus messaging. And as you can see here, it takes an average of 1 to 3 minutes. So in terms of payment systems, it's true. Yeah, it's true. And I want to thank Panosec for that graphic. You can see that 72 seconds from Circle and about 72 seconds from Ripple. They're comparable. But you know what? If you really want to do some research, look at the speed of PIX, PIX. The report suggests that these transactions occur in seconds, aligning with their domestic speeds of 1 to 10 seconds. Let's take a deeper dive into looking at what's going on with the stablecoin, the RLUSD. You can see that 39 million of that stablecoin by Ripple was burned on the XRP ledger and then brought over with a new mint on Ethereum. And people are wondering, well, why are they doing that? Well, it's a rebalance, and it's done often. Even USD Tether will move and rebalance their stablecoin based on their treasury. And what I think is going on here is if we look at the two big DeFi platforms, which are Ethereum based, you can see the demand for RLUSD right now is on Ethereum. Before we take a look at that, let me point out the comment here from Vet. He says, you want to hold a little bit of inventory on all chains you support so that you can react quickly to the demand. A total of 67 million RLUSD has loaded up on the Aave platform, giving an APY of 0.16%. And on the Curve platform, you can see that the RLUSD paired with the Circle USDC stablecoin is number one in volume, 41.3 million. Now, here's something fun to look at. Mistin Labs, which is the SWI network, acquired Parasol in an announcement back in March on the Pokemon website, buried in the privacy policy. Look what we have here. Parasol Technologies, LLC. Still have to speculate, do we have Pokemon, which was the number one game brand in Japan last year and was their most profitable year as well? Are they building on SWI? I do think so. Bitcoin trading right now at the time of this recording at 94,306. It feels very bullish. And I am thinking we are entering a very fun, interesting price action time. And to take you out, we're going to find out why Panos, the co-founder of Anados Finance, is always talking about NFTs. Until next time, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye. I've noticed lately that Panos talks about NFTs a lot. Why?
Okay, yeah, he does talk about NFTs a lot. So do I actually. But I can answer that pretty quickly, pretty simply. So NFTs are an amazing tool for multiple different reasons. And I'll just run through a couple of them very, very quickly and basically. Unfortunately, the majority and the masses have seen NFTs like Pokemon trading cards and just this is all it's worth. But we have real world examples today in the state of Texas and in the state of Florida. They're being used in real estate. Here in Montreal, where I am, for example, if you want to purchase a home, you need to use a notary. So notary is like basically like an attorney that's going to verify with a seal from a centralized body that this is actually my house that I'm selling to you, right? An NFT replaces all this. I mean, it's witnessed by the entire blockchain, the history of it, where it was purchased. This is one of the main things. It helps with transparency in general on the blockchain, and I think NFTs can be, insurance policies. They could be the ownership of your car, your home, any real world asset, really. So it's an exciting piece of technology in general.